We all know how bad it can feel when we are lonely, but now medical experts and policymakers are sounding the alarm about the risks associated with loneliness. Some have likened the health impact of it to smoking or obesity. And this year, the UK appointed the world's first ever minister for loneliness to look at how to combat loneliness, especially as we age. We've brought in aging expert Amy Dupree. Thank you so much for being here, Amy.
Thanks, Kelsey. I'm glad to be with you.
Yeah, so what kind of loneliness are we talking about?
We're really talking about that feeling that you're not connected and that you don't have somebody you can go talk to. It's that basic, right? And it's that feeling a lot of people have that it's pervasive in their life, that they are really disconnected and don't have friends. And you and I were talking, it really goes the whole lifespan that we see people go through this.
It sure does. And we're not talking about not seeing people. We're talking about even being lonely when you're surrounded by people. And I'm a mom of two, and I work in a successful job, and I'm surrounded by people all day. And I will admit, I feel lonely. And it has a huge impact on how I feel about myself and how I feel about my day-to-day activities.
I'm so glad you say it, because we need to get this issue out of the closet, if you will. You know, when England appointed the Minister for Loneliness, I wish they'd appointed a Minister for Friendship. That seems like it'd be a little nicer to me. But it brought that issue that it's a worldwide phenomenon that people are struggling around having enough friends.
So what are the benefits of social contact?
Well, we know when people have good social support, they live longer, they live healthier, both mentally and physically. They're, in the older years, less likely to end up in a nursing home. And the latest research shows that it has a protective factor against Alzheimer's disease for older people.
Wow. Okay, so
pretty important stuff, right?
Well, absolutely, and something that I know a lot of us are concerned about as we age. But one of the main sticking points for a lot of people is we say it's hard to make friends as we get older. It's not like we're in school in a classroom where we can just make friends with the kid sitting next to us. But you're saying we need to not use that as an excuse.
Well, I think we have to start looking at how we do it and to say, you're at your life stage, this is tough. You've got 2 little kids, you're working, you don't have a lot of time. And that's what happens for a lot of people during the life stages when they're raising kids. But then later in life, people will say, well, you know, it's hard when you get older to make friends. Actually, it's not. We just need to prioritize it and take some very concrete steps to make friends.
So how do we create those friendships?
Well, a few ways. There are resources that help us. One of my favorite websites is meetup.com, M-E-E-T, up.com. You can join something that really fits who you are. It's not just an idea of going and joining any group. It's an idea of joining what matters to you. There's a new website out, a Mintro, which is sort of a matching site, but for friendship, not dating. And it's a way to meet people who are similar to you, which helps people because they can do that from the comfort of their own home. And I wrote a book called Building the Bonds of Friendship in Midlife and Beyond. And I did it with a co-author because we said, this is such an issue. We see this pervasive loneliness among our middle-aged friends, and they need to know how to go out there and do this. And part of it is that you have to do targeted community involvement. So people say, oh, go volunteer or join a group. It has to be something that really fits your personality, who you are, your interests, because then you're going to meet like-minded people. But you have to see it as a priority to have friends, and then you have to see it as a priority to make friends.
Amy, thank you so much. Some usable tips for all our viewers at home. Thank you.
Thank you.